talking about J.B. Pritzker, the governor of Chicago, and his selfish self, and how he will disrespect Flip Red to protect illegal aliens because the Negroes there aren't exploitable. Sorry for you guys in Chicago who are fighting. You're just not exploitable. You're not cheap laborers. They have to pay you correctly, so they're not interested in helping you. And JB, the governor JB Pritzker, he was born with the silver shovel in his mouth, and he comes from a brood of remarkable wealth, and I could guess I can say talent or whatever. And he's a husky trust fund baby whose government leadership lacks luster, and it only benefits those at the top. So it's no surprise that the governor is willing to sacrifice the safety of the people of Chicago and cover up and minimize organized crime committed by the likes of Trende Aragua, right? And so let's take a look at this experience of a woman who was sexually assaulted at a Hyatt hotel and what they did to try to cover it up and why she won. A Missouri appellate court recently upheld a $177 million verdict against Hyatt Corp. Involving allegations that a security guard employed by the hotel assaulted a female guest in a room. The security guard, identified as DW, had a documented history of arrests related to sexual misconduct, which was not uncovered during Hyatt's hiring process. Of course not. The incident occurred at the Hyatt Regency St. Louis at the Arc in 2016 when the victim, a sheriff's officer attending a seminar, was assaulted using a master key. The plaintiff argued that Hyatt negligently hired and supervised DW, failing to adhere to its own policies and procedures, right? Because they didn't do the background check on him. Okay, and so I wanted to look right here. Hyatt police investigator failed to assist the victim. Right. This is what I want. Look at what they did. So disgusting. Right? It says the panel noted that Hyatt hindered police investigations and failed to assist the victim effectively. As detailed by Judge James N. Dowd, Hyatt's actions included denying the victim access to electronic key records and obstructing law enforcement's inquiries. The court found that Hyatt's behavior during the investigation and trial illustrated a corporate priority of self-preservation over guest welfare. Absolutely. And that's what you see today. That's what you see today. You can come. The article is here. That's the name of it at the top. Name of the article, whatever. I'll probably just put the link in the description box or whatever. You come back and read the whole article. But I think that's very disgusting, and it mirrors why he is obstructing policies today from President Trump, because he is a self-assuming type of person and probably comes from a family like that. A lot of wealthy people, not to speak down on wealthy people, because wealth isn't a bad thing, but some people are wealthy and greedy and they only care about themselves. They don't care about other people. Now, it's disgusting that this woman was assaulted by someone from the Pritzker staff, and what they decided to do is try to cover up and obstruct it because they didn't want to compensate her for the hurt and the pain that she had experienced. And if I was Flip Red, because he is totally disrespecting you guys out there, he's disrespecting 70, 80, damn near 80 million people who voted for President Trump, first of all, because we want to see Chicago be safe and we want the people there happy, as well as New York, where I am. They feel the same here. They want us to be happy. The people of LA, the people of Memphis, every place where there's a Democrat in leadership, we want the American Negroes there to be happy. We want them there to be happy, and we want them to be safe, because when we are in that type of environment, we are most productive. And this governor has no right to obstruct the policies of Trump. I hope Trump not only, he's already invoked the, doggone it, I can't think of the policy right now, the Insurrection Act, but there is, I think it's 18 USC 114, I believe it is, and it has something to do with controlling traffic. And I think that would be a great thing to do, is to kind of disrupt the traffic and get some of the people out of the way so that ICE can be more fruitful or whatever. The government would know how to use that policy or whatever, but it's definitely, that act or whatever, but it definitely it stops traffic like on the interstate or whatever like that. And it just gives ICE and the other agents out there complete control of the traffic or whatever to obstruct some of it and stop some of it, and that definitely will help to capture some of these illegals or whatever. And it might hold up some business for people like the Hyatt Hotel. You know how you do, you can't get the tissue and the soap and the things that people need in there or whatever. Would that make them want to comply? Because he has no right to obstruct these policies. What he's doing is unconstitutional. And he can very well be arrested. Back in the day, if you had President Trump is very nice, because if you had a Woodrow Wilson in there, you would have Governor Pritzker, Johnson, anybody else, they would have been arrested. Your enemy combatants, you're going against the state. Yeah, you'd have been done for. You'd have been done for because President Trump pulled us out of that agreement, and they have no right to continue these policies that fall up underneath that agreement. So yeah, this is disgusting, and it mirrors his leadership in Chicago. And yeah, that's it. There's also some rumors. Now, this is alleged. This is factual right here. This is an actual case, but it's alleged that there are some ties to the mafia from the Pritzker family. But this is from way, way back, and it's not really, verifiable. But it's like water cooler chatter, and that's what the thing is, that they were doing some kind of tax, some type of tax work or whatever. I'm not sure which one. I don't know if it was Abe, rest in peace to him because he passed away. So I don't know if it was him who was doing it, because he was the business lawyer. It makes sense that he would be doing, whatever taxes or whatever. But that's a rumor that they have, connection to the mafia or whatever. And if you look back at Chicago, when we did the Kanika Jenkins thing or whatever, a lot came out about the hotels out there, the trafficking through the hotels, the O'Hare Airport, the trafficking through there or whatever. So, these things definitely need to be investigated. And if this family has anything to do with any of that, then, que sera, sera, whatever may be, may be. And I'm Manny Eater 38, and I'm out.